Oh, boys, I'm back. I'm alive. I'm actually alive. How you boys doing? How you doing? I missed you boys. I did. No, I just needed a break, honestly. A lot of stuff going on, you know, work and bloody whatnot. I mean, I'm not a full-time sweaty content creator. Come on. I mean, I just make off-meted Diablo builds for however long I'm going to keep doing this for. So, thanks for those still hanging around anyway. But I'm not out of ideas. And I want to share some more scuffed shit with you boys today. So hello, it's me, lightly stained underwear. How are you? There's your intro, boys, because I know it's been a while, right, since I did one. Now, I have been working on some stuff, even though I have not been making videos okay. So here is something that hopefully none of you boys have seen before, because that's my goal. I want to make dumb shit that nobody has seen. I don't know. This is my legacy, boys. My kids, when I'm like 64, will be like, you know, boys, back in my day, I'll have you know, I made a bloody throw sorceress, and then all the boys and girls, you know, it was the talk of the town. I mean, anyway, boys, we have something very unique today. This is a Firewall Elemental Whirlwind Barbarian. Now, it's a low player count clearing, probably P1 to P3. You can stack a decent amount of magic fine, which I don't have fully kitted up, but it has opportunity for that. It is quite fun to clear. Now, for a long time, I've been quite interested in the 3-piece Trang set. So if you're not familiar, boys, if you wear the helm, if you wear the belt, which is unique because it cannot be frozen, and you have the gloves, it gives you 18 Fireball on 2-piece, and with this 3-piece, it gives you 13 Firewall. Because fuck wearing the Trang's chest, okay, it looks ugly, and it gives you no good stats anyway. And then we can't even wear the Necro offhand, unless you're on a Necro. So this is what we have to utilize. And it is very fun, boys. It is very fun. Now, if we change this to Firewall, I'll show you my gear and I'll show you the damage. So, Firewall does pretty much 1500 damage per second. We do have a decent amount of minus enemy fire res, right? So, what is the setup for this build? How does it kind of function? Let's get into it, hey, boys? Now, I am using Whirlwind as my main physical damage dealer for a Barbarian. And I want to amp up as much fire damage as possible because that's the theme I kind of want to focus on. I mean, I'll be honest, I've been testing and failing a lot of elemental barbarian builds. The reason being is because on a non-elemental class, trying to theorycraft and give it a main source of like a predominant elemental damage, it is incredibly hard to do so because there's such a limited amount of ways you can amp up the damage, that being only facets, as you can see in the Trang's helm. So for Firewall, to buff up the Firewall and to buff up our fire damage, we have the following. We've got a facet inside the Trangs, you know, so we've got 3-piece Trangs and the gloves and the belt, there you go. We have a Hands of Justice, so this gives us more minus enemy fire res, it gives us Fire Aura, which is cool, so that adds up. The Ignore Target's Defense was quite nice, saves us a bit of attack rating on non-bosses and all of that. The Hit Blind Target, Deadly Strike, and Freezes Target is actually really nice for certain places. I was trying a different spec with this build with Warcry, with a spec into Warcry so I can have that crowd control. Similar to how, if you saw my Summon a Barbarian, my Zoo Barbarian video, I had that type of setup going. But with this, I feel like I don't have to spec skills into that, and I still get that crowd control, which allows me that brief second so I can maintain uptime of Firewall and that sort of elemental damage front. Now, I've paired that with a Phase Blade, which is decked out with facets because we want max fire damage. More minus enemy fire is so handy because we want to chuck Firewall under mobs, we want to Whirlwind on them, which Whirlwind does apply Hit Blind's target, which is pretty pog, boys, I'll have you know. So then the enemies are not going to move, they're going to be sitting on Firewall, and they're going to be taking more damage. That's the whole idea. Of course, with this, I want the freedom of having an Enigma, so we are going to be doing that. We're going to be teleporting around. The rest is plus skills. Plus 2 to Maras. We got some FCR with some more life leech and stuff here. We do have an SOJ. We're using a lot of mana, so we've got War Cries going on. We've got Whirlwind. We have Firewall. We are casting. We're teleporting. So as you can see, I have more points into energy And I have chosen a Stone of Jordan over a BK ring, a Bull Cathos, because that would give us Life Leech instead, and life. So that's my choice behind that. Now, the rest of everything down here is going to be max damage. I know some of you boys are probably thinking, Billy, just lean into it, you bloody pussy. Get some bloody fire damage charms. Well, fuck you. Honestly, you try and build something like this. There's not much point going full elemental on one end. It is so difficult. I'm still trying to do that on my Dual Dream Barbarian, which is quite fun, but fingers crossed for a new patch, and maybe they'll change something. So we do need to deal a decent amount of, more of a reliable level of physical damage, so we can maintain good input of mana and lifesteal and what have you. You know, it's a responsible thing to do. So I have a Fire Skiller Charm. On Switch, I do have +3 Hodo. I don't have CTA or a Hodo Spear right now, so pretty much +6 we can teleport and cast on our Switch weapon, right? That's how we're going to be doing it. Mercenary, we have Flickering Flame. This is going to be capping out our fire res because, as you see, we are using a Flame Rift, okay? So our fire res is a little bit, our fire res, hey boys, is a little bit lower. We have Infinity with Conviction, obviously anything elemental, this is always here on pretty much all my fucking builds, right? Fortitude, and I decided to give him Prayer because why not? I don't really give a shit. Maybe I can give him my Aura, I know, maybe that's min-maxing. Some Andy comment down below, but that is about the setup, right? So for skills, it has a lot of ways you can kind of move around. So I've left some skills here to kind of show you the different options. Basically, we are going to be maxing battle orders, make sure we have decent mana and decent life. Tick that box, yes. If you want to do Magic Find with this build, then put points into Find Potion along with Find Item. Okay, that's your next box to tick. What else? We're using swords, so max out Blade Mastery. 1.1 does a cross here. If you need more natural resistance, this is a variant where you do have a lot of spare points. You can chuck that in there. Or if you want to go big Chad, massive pecs and biceps and boulder shoulders, just max out Iron Skin with Shout. You know, you can do that too. Combat skills, we are using Whirlwind, we want to max that shit out, absolutely. There is different ways you can deal a little bit of damage if you want to have double swing, if you want to have like frenzy, but I don't really care. I mean, maybe I could put one into double swing just to fuck around with single target, and then the rest, let's just say we're going to bump it to Find Potion and then put it into Find Item. Bingo bongo, 73% chance to Find Item. Easy peasy. I think the rest of this we can kind of just show how it kind of runs, boys, because I think it's very fun. I love the idea of making elemental melee characters. It's always appealed to me. It's one of the main things that I always started theory crafting early on, you know? So let's cast Firewall here. And let's go back to our Whirlwind. There we go. As you can see, the blind does apply on Whirlwind, which is fucking incredible. I think back in the day, maybe someone can confirm, but I think back in the day you used to be able to have like chance to cast effects would be working with Whirlwind. So I'd love to experience that, but I'm glad that it's not a thing. It would be wild. Imagine like a Rift Barbarian with Whirlwind. Holy shit, that would be my life, boys. I would just teleport around Enigma and I would Whirlwind with Rift. I mean, no complaints really, right? So I want to go have a look at Whirlwind, no not Whirlwind, sorry, Firewall. So about 1600, right? So that doesn't show the minus enemy fire res, which we do have a decent chunk of. So let's go tick down here, see if I can find the exact value because maths is hard for me, okay? Minus 55, and then we have that on top of Conviction. And we got Flame Rift. So if we just use Firewall, look at the damage, boys. I know it's not impressive, I know, but I'm on a fucking Barbarian. This is so entertaining. This is the type of shit that I enjoy. Not decking out like, I don't know, a high-end Spears on or something. This gets me bricked up. Get a perfect rolled Trang's Helm with a perfect fire facet. Get a Firewall Barbarian. This is what I live for, boys, okay? Oh, yes, baby. Give me that Firewall. And of course, I can be Whirlwinding too. For Hell Mode, for the damage that we do, mate, this is me. This is me, boys. So right here, we want to blind them, chuck some Firewall. And this is basically how the gameplay works. Whirlwind is not too bad, up to about 2k. We do have a little bit of fire damage as well, but mainly it's enough to get by with focusing enough Firewall. Because if we fully lean into Firewall and elemental damage, honestly, there's not going to be enough, really, for any type of elemental variant on a physical build. Oh, this is so fun. Let's clear a little bit more of Wildstone Keep. Let's go up to Throne. There might be some fire immunes up here, or there's souls. Alright, let's try and, oh, fuck me. Let's go, boys. Here's the part where I consider just re-recording the whole video, because this stuff gets me a little bit scared. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Pro tip, by the way, boys. If you're making a shitty Theory Crafted build video, write down a list of the places where your build can actually clear, so you don't end up halfway through a video like me in an area that you can't clear. So let's go back to Act 1, because we can clear Act 1. Yeah. I'll show you some more Firewall action. I'm not doing cow, so I can't be bothered getting the leg, okay? So let's buff up again. 4k life is pretty good. 1400 mana is probably where you would want to. I'd say over 1k if you're doing something like this. Casting, teleporting, that's what I want. That's the good shit. Alright, boys? Black Marsh. Hell yeah, boys. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, question is, do I have Catacombs level 2 waypoint? I do. Let's go kill Andariel, because that bitch has no fire res. And then I think we can probably call the video there. I just want to feel like I can kill something easy and feel proud of myself. You know? You know how it is, right? You know when you're farming like Chaos and Bell runs for ages and then you're like, oh man, this is so tough. Like if you're undergeared and you go back to like Nightmare Cows and you're like, ah, there we go. I feel good at the game now. That's where I'm at. Firewall that hope. There we go, boys. Brilliant. Firewall, Elemental, Whirlwind, Barbarian, Scuffed Gear, 3-piece Trang set, Hands of Justice, 7 facet, right? 6 facet Phase Blade. If you want to try some dumb shit, if you've got 3-piece Trangs that you don't need on your Necro anymore because nobody uses that shit, and even high-end Poison Nova you don't even really use 3-piece, save it. Save it for your Barbarian. Save it until Diablo 4 comes out. I hope you boys are doing well. I'll see you in the next one, eh? I'm still alive. Ah.